turn our attention to stem cells and the potential of stem cell therapy. So if you look at the screen, it's stem cells. You get a liver, you get a muscle, you get a brain cell, because essentially the idea of a stem cell is that it can give rise to a lot of different cell types. So where do we get those? So there are two types we need to consider: embryonic stem cells and embryonic germ cells. And both of them are controversial because they are created by embryos that will never fully develop into an individual, okay? And so for an embryonic stem cell, the cells are taken from the blastocyst, so this layer of cells prior to pre-implantation. For embryonic germ cells, they're taken from the gonads, okay? So they are taken from what would essentially give rise to gametes. And both of these are a source of pluripotent stem cells. So they're not totipotent. They can't make an organism, but they still can be programmed to differentiate into many different diverse tissue types or cell types. And so what makes those stem cells so unique is that they have this asymmetrical division. One, they divide so that they make more stem cells to replenish their population, but two, they can also then differentiate into other cells. So this asymmetry is that when they differentiate, those are now terminal cells, whereas the stem cells can keep going on and making stem cells that have the potential to be any kind of cell. So when you talk about stem cells, even though that refers to cells that can make different tissues, there are different kinds of stem cells. So the fertilized egg is what you consider totipotent. This can make an individual. This can make a person, an organism. Then you have those embryonic stem cells, which are pluripotent. They can't make an individual, but they can make a lot of different cell types. Those embryonic germ cells are also, again, pluripotent. Then you have some that are multipotent. So they can then go on to become several different tissue or cell types. Then you have unipotent, and it's a uni as in one, so it can go on to become one thing. A lot of cells in the body, mature tissues in the body, have a area or a population of unipotent or adult stem cells that usually just become whatever that tissue type. Like muscles have satellite cells, which are muscle stem cells, which can give rise to more muscles when necessary. And so that holds true for most organs in the body, that they have their own resident population. But those aren't as special as stem cells because they can only then become one thing. But keep in mind when we talked about reproductive cloning that you can take adult cells and reverse engineer them into becoming pluripotent. So those induced pluripotent stem cells. So what do I mean by those multipotent? So here we have a hematopoietic stem cell. And so it then goes through that asymmetric division to make more stem cells, but it can also then be used to differentiate. Now, it can become many different things. So here, it can become part of the blood, the circulation, so red blood cells, platelets, macrophages, neutrophils, or it can become T cells, B cells, natural killer cells, okay? So this is about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 possibilities, okay? So it's multipotent, different many possibilities, and it's 11 total for this one. Now, what makes stem cells so great is the potential that they hold within them. So yes, where we get these stem cells from is controversial, but they can then be used to treat all kinds of different diseases. Okay, so they have started using stem cells to try to treat brain injuries, muscle injuries, diabetes, and to correct some of the illnesses very well established for bone marrow transplant. So if you wipe out the bone marrow in a person who's suffering from a blood cancer, you can replace it with bone marrow that was transplanted from a normal person, and that takes up shop, and they will produce the bone marrow from that person because it contains stem cells. So we know the potential that lies in our use of stem cells. But the problem or the question we have to ask ourselves is it okay to get those stem cells where we get them from? to do what we want to do with them. So does the ends justify the means? So if we know that we have to take them from embryos, but we know that we can save a lot of lives, like, will society agree that the ends justify the means? And so that falls onto you. What do you think about the use of stem cells? What do you think about the population of stem cells? And do you think it's okay? So we know some of them are come from, if you have women who donate eggs and they're not going to use them, is it okay for science to take them up, fertilize them with some sperm that may be in a sperm bank that's also not going to be used, make embryos for the sake of science? Or if you know that someone is aborting a child, is it okay to donate that fetus to science? So where do we stand with what's okay and what's not okay, or what we should do to advance science or what we should not do to advance science? And do we protect an embryo that's not planted or an aborted fetus, or do we protect an individual who's here, who's maybe 40, 50 years old, who needs some kind of a surgery or treatment that would greatly benefit from these stem cells? Like, where's the line? Where do we draw? Where's the moral compass here? So think about this, research the topic some more, and like what are your thoughts on what we should do or how we should do it?